Exploration Commander Thex-9 adjusted his biomechanical sensors as his scout ship approached the small blue-green planet, orbiting the yellow star designated G2V Sol. According to their long-range scans, this world showed all the hallmarks of a thriving civilization: electromagnetic emissions, atmospheric modifications, and the telltale signs of industrial activity. Initial observations suggest a Type 0.7 civilization, reported Science Officer Vela Prime, her crystalline appendages interfacing directly with the ship's data streams. Population estimates indicate approximately 8 billion sentient beings. They appear to be carbon-based bipeds in early stages of technological development. Commander Thex-9 nodded, his multi-jointed limbs manipulating the ship's controls with practiced efficiency. The hegemony had been cataloging primitive civilizations for millennia, determining which ones might eventually prove useful as trade partners, resource suppliers, or in rare cases potential threats to be eliminated. "Any signs of interplanetary capability?" he inquired. "Minimal," Vela Prime responded. "They have achieved chemical propulsion sufficient to reach their satellite, and there are rudimentary probes scattered throughout their local system. Nothing that poses a concern to hegemony interests." As their ship descended through Earth's atmosphere, however, Thex-9 began to notice inconsistencies in their initial assessment. The electromagnetic spectrum was more complex than expected, filled with encrypted communications that suggested a level of coordination typically associated with much more advanced civilizations. Commander, Vela Prime's voice carried a note of confusion. "I'm detecting massive subterranean networks spanning multiple continents. The tunnel systems are extensive." Their ship's advanced sensors began painting a picture that defied their initial categorization. Beneath the seemingly pastoral surface of continents and oceans lay a labyrinthine network of manufacturing facilities, each one larger than most space stations. The tunnels connected massive underground complexes that stretched for thousands of kilometers beneath major population centers. "This is highly unusual," Thex-9 muttered. "Primitive civilizations don't typically develop such sophisticated underground infrastructure." As they descended lower, their sensors began detecting energy signatures that made Thex-9's biomechanical heart skip several beats. The power outputs from the underground facilities were off-the-scale fusion reactors that could supply energy to entire star systems, matter converters operating at efficiency levels the hegemony had only theorized about. Commander, Vela Prime's voice was now tinged with alarm. "The manufacturing outputs are concerning. These facilities are producing military hardware at an unprecedented rate." The scanner displays showed production lines stretching across continents, each one churning out spacecraft, weapon systems, and defensive technologies with a precision and speed that would make the hegemony's most advanced industrial world seem primitive by comparison. "How many vessels are they producing?" Thex-9 demanded. "Current rate suggests approximately 50,000 starships per day," Vela Prime calculated. "Each one appears to be equipped with weapons technology that surpasses our own by several orders of magnitude." Thex-9 felt his species equivalent of cold sweat beginning to form on his exoskeleton. Where are these ships going? Their sensors tracked the output, watching as newly constructed vessels disappeared into what appeared to be spatial distortions, some form of instantaneous transportation technology that allowed the ships to vanish from local space entirely. "Commander, I'm detecting similar manufacturing signatures on the planet's natural satellite," Vela Prime reported. "The moon appears to be hollow. It's been converted into a single massive factory complex." As if responding to their presence, the planet's surface began to change. What had appeared to be natural mountain ranges suddenly revealed themselves as massive weapons emplacements, their targeting systems swiveling to track the alien scout ship. Ocean surfaces parted to reveal colossal defensive platforms rising from hidden depths. "We need to leave," Thex9 said, his voice tight with fear. Immediately. But it was too late. A voice suddenly filled their ship's communication system, speaking in perfect hegemonic standard, a language that should have been unknown to any civilization in this sector. "Greetings, Hegemony Scout Vessel Designation TXV 4471. The voice said with surprising warmth. "This is Admiral Elizabeth Nakamura of the Terran Defense Command. Please do not be alarmed. We have been monitoring your approach and would like to extend an invitation to dock at one of our orbital facilities." Thex9's mandibles clicked in confusion. "How do you know our language? Our ship designation?" "We've been aware of the hegemony for quite some time," Admiral Nakamura replied. "Your expansion into this sector has been predictable. We've had ample opportunity to study your technology, your tactics, and your intentions regarding newly discovered civilizations." On their view screen, an image appeared showing Admiral Nakamura, a middle-aged human female, standing on what appeared to be the bridge of a massive space station. Behind her, through transparent walls, could be seen the construction bays where ships larger than hegemony dreadnoughts were being assembled by automated systems. "Who are you?" Thex9 whispered. "We are humanity," the Admiral replied simply. "Earth is our homeworld, but it's also our primary industrial complex. We've been preparing for first contact with galactic civilizations for the past 2 centuries. "Preparing how?" Vela Prime managed to ask. "By building the largest military-industrial infrastructure in this galaxy," Admiral Nakamura explained matter-of-factly. "We calculated that when we were discovered, it would likely be by a civilization with imperial ambitions. The hegemony's history of subjugating or eliminating weaker species made you a prime candidate for first contact." Images began flooding their screens, vast underground cities dedicated entirely to military production, asteroid belts that had been completely dismantled and converted into raw materials, entire star systems that humanity had secretly colonized and transformed into shipyards. "But your civilization appears primitive," Thex9 protested. "Your people live on the surface, engage in commerce, create art." "Oh, that," Admiral Nakamura smiled. "That's our civilian population. They live normal lives, while our military-industrial complex operates entirely independently below ground and in space. We believe in maintaining a healthy work-life balance." "How many ships do you have?" Vela Prime asked, though she wasn't sure she wanted to know the answer. "Current active fleet stands at approximately 12 million vessels," the Admiral replied casually. "Though production continues around the clock, we estimate we'll reach 15 million by the end of this month." Thex9 realized that his species had just discovered not a primitive world ripe for conquest, but the most militarized civilization in galactic history. "What happens now?" he asked. "Now," Admiral Nakamura said, "you get to choose. The hegemony can approach Earth as friends and equals, engaging in mutually beneficial trade and cultural exchange. Or you can continue your expansion policies and discover exactly why we've spent 2 centuries preparing for this conversation." As if to emphasize the point, Thex9's sensors detected ships appearing all around them, sleek, deadly vessels that had materialized from nowhere, their weapons powered but not yet targeted. "I think," Thex9 said carefully, "I should contact my superiors about establishing diplomatic relations." "Excellent choice," Admiral Nakamura beamed. "Welcome to the neighborhood, Commander. Try not to start any wars you can't finish."